This is Auntie Michelle, and I'm so glad that I'm meeting you again through a lesson, right? Okay, so before we start today's lesson, just look at this picture. What can you see in the picture? Yeah, this little boy is sharing his food with another girl in the class, right? Maybe she didn't bring food, or she would have forgot to bring lunchbox, or her food is fallen, or whatever that he's not able to eat, right? But this little boy is giving his food and sharing his food with this little girl. I know you all also do it in school sometimes. When your friend didn't bring food, you will always share, isn't it? Right? That's a very good thing. Very good. Right? Good. All the good children do all these good little things, right? Okay. So just like that in the Bible also, there was a little boy who shared his food. I know you know this story, right? We'll look at again, right? Just look at this video clip. You'll see what is happening there.
Jesus was one of the most famous people in all of Israel. One day, as he was teaching, thousands of people came to listen, hanging on his every word. He spoke and taught in a way that people could understand. There were people from all social classes. Some were Jews, others were Gentiles. Yet each of them found significance in the wisdom with which he taught. Jesus had a lot to say, and later during the day, the crowds became hungry. "Jesus, the people are hungry," his disciples came and told him. "You must send the people away to find a place to stay and find something to eat." Jesus looked at the thousands of people. It was a huge crowd. There were 5,000 men, plus women and children. Then Jesus gave a strange order to his disciples. "You give them something to eat," he commanded them. The disciples were confused. "We don't have any food, and even if we spent all the money we had on food, there still would not be enough." Then Jesus asked them, "What food do you have?" One of his disciples, Andrew, came up to Jesus with a young boy. "This boy has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but that is not enough for all these people." "Have the people sit down," Jesus instructed. The disciples went to work arranging the people into an orderly seating pattern. The young boy watched as Jesus held up his food and thanked God for it. Suddenly, a miraculous sign occurred. After giving thanks, Jesus started handing out the food. The more he handed out, the more food there was. God was multiplying the 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes to be enough to feed 5,000 people. The crowds were amazed. Once again, Jesus' disciples witnessed firsthand the power of the Son of God. Jesus was constantly illustrating and teaching them valuable lessons that would help strengthen their faith. With God, nothing was impossible. Not even turning 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread into a 5,000-piece lunch. As the disciples scooped up the leftovers, they filled 12 full baskets. This was an undeniable miracle. Who could have such power? Indeed, this Jesus was the Son of God. That day, thousands more people believed, repented, and put their trust in God.
Okay, now you can see, right, when Jesus was preaching in a mountainside, and there were so many people, and they were there the whole day. They were there till evening, and disciples were saying, that is Jesus' friends were saying, okay, now they were here from morning, let them go now, then they can go to their town and find some food. But Jesus felt really sad for them, because they were there from the morning till evening and they didn't have anything to eat. Jesus knew that they are all in hungry. And Jesus asked, okay, can we find food, whatever we have? But the disciples are saying, no, you can't buy, you can't find it, because it's a big crowd, a lot of people there. It says more than 5,000. Now 5,000 is a big number. right? But they were saying, Jesus saying, okay, see whether you can find anything. Then they found there was a little boy. Maybe his mother would have given this to eat during the lunch, right? And in a basket, he had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, right? Now you know bread not like our day's bread. It was like a flat, like a roti. Okay, so he has it. Then Jesus took it. This boy gave, right? Jesus took it and he blessed the food and divided and sharing among everyone. And he got all the people, they got for them to sit in groups and they gave all their food and they were dividing and they were sharing. So everyone ate, everyone was very satisfied, everyone was happy they got food. And after eating so many people, there were 12 baskets remaining. Right now, see, Jesus wants, they're telling us another lesson, not to waste food. Okay, now he didn't ask them to just throw it and go. He said, collect all the remaining food and keep them. Then they can use it or they can give it to some other people. Okay, so that's also a good lesson that we don't waste food. Right? Now the lesson is because of that little boy, if he didn't share his food, none of them couldn't eat anything. Right? So that little boy, little way, in y'all also can do something like that. When you see someone on the road hungry or someone comes and asks a little food, if you all have extras, you can give, you can share, right? Whatever we had, Jesus has given us so much to us. He has given us more than we ask. There are things that we ask, without that also He has given us. So there are people who don't have things, right? There are people who need things. So it's our duty, whatever we have, if we have extras, we always have to share. And you know, you can see people that they are wearing all the dirty clothes on the road. The little children don't have, they are wearing torn clothes, right? But if you have extra clothes, I'm sure you all have extra clothes. Or when you grow oversized, there are things, clothes that it's tied to you. You can always give it to someone else, right? Maybe your toys, right? Now you are big enough, you don't need to play with the toys. If you have 2 dolls or 3 dolls, you can always give someone who really need it, right? So those are little things that you can do. You can tell Ammi, I have this much of doll, I have this too many toys. We'll give. You put into a nice box, you collect everything, whatever you need, but you have to give, when you are giving, you have to give the good ones. You don't give the broken toys, right? You don't give the spoiled food that you cannot eat. Okay, or the clothes that is torn and ugly and torn and all those things, right? You have to give the good one that someone can use it. So remember, when you are giving, right, always give the good things, right? Now look at these pictures, how Jesus blessed the food and how He is dividing, right? So He wants us to be just like little boy who shared his food, right? So He is telling us a lesson that we also have to share it, right? Now this lesson has taken from, it's taken from John chapter 6, 5:30. So in the Bible, this story is there. Okay, little children, for this story, I just want you to do a little activity, little craft like this. Okay, now I have taken a paper plate and with the felt pens, or you can color this part just to show as a basket. Right, then I got some printouts, so I know definitely you can draw. Right, now these are loaves of bread, like a roti. Okay, you know how many loaves of bread are there in the basket? There were 5. So 5, and I got 2 pictures of fish. Okay, so we'll paste it onto the basket, right, with a little glue. So we'll paste both the fish together. And the 5 loaves of bread. If you are not able to draw the fish or bread, you can ask someone to help. Maybe Ammi can help you to draw like this. Okay, right. 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Okay, so hope you like the lesson today, right? And remember to share like that little boy. Okay, right. Today's memory verse is taken from John chapter 6 verses 11. And it says, Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to those who were seated. Right? Again, I will read that again. Jesus then took the loaves, and when he has given thanks, right? Remember, before he eat, he gave thanks. He was praying, thanking food, right? Jesus then took the loaves, and when he has given thanks, he distributed them to those who were seated. Right? So remember, just like Jesus, before we eat, before we have a meal, we have to pray and thank God because we got something to eat. Right? There are so many who don't have food and who are all in hungry. So we are lucky, and we have to say thank you to God that we got something to eat. Right? Okay. So we'll pray, children. Loving God, who perform miracle, use me to do your miracles in this world. And thank you for the lesson of sharing, and help us to be just like that little boy, that who can share whatever we can and make others happy. Amen. So children, till the next lesson, I will see you from the next lesson. Till that, you take care of yourself, and God bless you. Bye.